So my name's Will Strauss. I'm still one of the editors here at SVG Europe. Here's a bit of background to this conversation. So outside broadcasting is still the backbone of live sport, but the ground beneath it is shifting fast. As we've heard throughout the day, in our earlier sessions in particular, rights holders and audiences are expecting richer coverage. Then there's also tighter turnaround times to deal with, and of course, lower costs. There are new ways of working, sustainability targets, and a constant need to invest in new technology while still protecting margins and investment. So joining me to potentially shed some light on this are Jamie Hindhaugh, who is Regional CEO of Gravity Media, Lise Heidal, who is President of NEP Europe, and Robert Kiss, Managing Director of TV Skyline. Thank you all for joining us today. So, let's look at the state of the market. Jamie, I'm going to come to you first. How would you characterise today's OB market in Europe?
I think it's time to bring a little optimism to today.
Excellent.
Felt like a bloody wake earlier. Look, I think we need to reset what the market is, so what we are. So we're not just trucks, okay? You know, we are fly packs, we do RF, specialist cameras, we have production centres globally that are interconnected, we've pioneered and driven remote production. We are big investors in this industry. We work with a lot of people in this room. That investment is enabling us as an industry to bring in new products, new services that deliver synergies further along. And also the really important thing is we are customer aggregators. So we work globally with all the key clients. We understand the sports market and we are able to drive that. We've got brilliant people doing delivery with a safe pair of hands. In a live environment, that's key, and that's not just sport. But I think I want to be really clear, you know, we're not the victims here. The conversation today is very much the victims. This is not being done to us. As organisations, we're actually driving a lot of this change. And for me, sitting here listening today, I'm more excited than ever for our facilities market. And I think we've got a really exciting future ahead of us. Anyone scared of change, get off now. But no, I think we're in a really good position despite a lot of the conversations we've had today.
Thank you. Lisa, would you echo those sentiments? If not, how do you characterise the OB market?
Does this work? Yeah.
It does.
Thank you. No, I think I agree. I think the market is highly active, intense, and under a lot of pressure. Clients are asking for more for less. Technology is evolving at a really rapid speed. There's a bigger range, I think, of low-cost productions and premium productions, so the range is bigger. But this market situation kind of gives us an opportunity to work on innovation, and we need to be adaptive. I think that's the big change from before, that we need to be more agile and adaptive to new environments or new expectations. So I consider myself lucky to be in this industry at this time. It's super exciting, right? So thanks for that.
Thank you. Robert, please excuse the expression, guys. These two represent beasts of organisations, very large organisations. TV Skyline, maybe not quite the beast. How do you see them? How do you see
very exotic TV Skyline in this round of heavyweights?
How do you see the market?
As well, really optimistic, like the others, because a lot of great things are ahead. A lot of opportunities are there to grab, to try to win or lose or whatever. That drives us every day. I think when you look at the market and you have some very big players and they're getting bigger and bigger, I think that very often you recognize that size is not really a guarantee for success. It's
Why do you say that, Robert?
Because when I look at the market for the last 5-10 years and seeing what's ahead, then you have a lot of examples that it's not getting as big as possible to earn money.
But it's kind of like I just said, like we need to be very adaptive and fast. And I think sometimes smaller companies can move faster, right? It's not like that for us, but yeah.
Speak for
Of course.
yourself.
All right.
Okay, so big companies, Lisa, you've recently, talking about big companies, you've recently done a bit of a reshuffle, a reorganization, shall we say? What has that allowed you to do as an organisation? Because, as you've just acknowledged, you need to be more nimble, and the smaller companies are more nimble, but size must have its benefits. What has the restructure and the reorganisation allowed NEP to do in Europe?
So NEP is actually 40 years old. And during those 40 years, there's been a lot of restructuring, depending on strategies and market conditions. So we've had restructuring not only in Europe, but in all our 4 regions for the last years, which have made us more sustainable and strong as a business for the future. I think we need to survive and be strong and sustainable for the next 40 years as well. But here in Europe, we've had around 18 months of a strategy that we call One Europe or One NEP Europe. So we have standardized, we are better at sharing skills and equipment. Someone mentioned utilization. It's about utilization, right? We have to maximize the power of what we have. So we've done a big reshuffle, and now we stand strong, I think, for the future.
Would you say the business is in a better position as a result of that?
Absolutely.
Jamie, Gravity, EMG, there's a lot going on there, and that's more recent in some respects. Some of the merger and acquisitions is more recent. You've been through that process. Where is the company now, and how have those changes benefited you? What have you faced, and what are you going through?
I think we're in a good place now, he would say. We're one brand, we're one name. It's given us the opportunity to pull the 11 territories across the world. The world's getting a lot smaller. How you interconnect that, utilization is really key. But sharing that skill set and looking at those longer term solutions. And also the big important thing for Gravity Media is people are now able to understand the breadth of what we do. It's quite hard when you've got different brands doing different aspects. So I think it's been a really positive mood. I think it's been really well received. And like I say, we're really optimistic about it. It's a fantastic foundation now to move forward.
Thank you. The sub-line, or the strap line for this session is about balancing innovation costs and client demands. So I'm going to ask you about how you do that. So that you cannot just say, we try and balance these things. We need to go a bit deeper than that. So Robert, I'm going to come to you first, if you don't mind. As the smaller of the 3 organisations, what are your considerations when you're trying to get the balance right between investment, costs, and the demands of your customers?
It's all about information. So we try to have a very close combination with the manufacturers. Of course, we look at the competitors. We speak with clients. And at the end, sometimes you must be brave when you do some investments. You must be able to afford it. And if you also take into consideration the cycle of amortization, this should be not too long, because if your existing technology is not earning money, and sometimes you have to react very fast because of the market, of a new job, a new client. Then you need to be quick in decision making with your money. So we try to take the cycle of amortization as short as possible to be flexible in the market.
Thank you. Jamie, you've inherited, if that's the right word, a lot of existing technology, trucks, units, facilities, production units, etc. I think utilization is better than sweating assets, but I think you know what I'm saying with this. How do you balance the fact that you've got to make the most of those already with the fact there is also a need to continue to evolve? What are you thinking about when you're making those decisions?
It's about understanding what decisions you need to make. I was going to add on to the point there. The key thing for me is about how you work with a customer. I think you need to move away from being seen as a supplier. You're a partner. Honesty is really, really key in any conversation, because if you understand the requirement, you can help your partner deliver on that requirement. And as I said earlier, we're big investors in this industry, and it's where you put that investment. So we've still got big trucks, we still build big trucks, but also we're building new trucks, different trucks. You're looking at, some of the software stuff we've been talking about. As I said earlier, we're not sitting here waiting to see what's going to come. We're actually working with providers to look at that technology, and you need to make the investment. The investment falls in with the balance of what the work is you need to do. But when you've got both ends of the spectrum, it's how you balance that investment from the returns you're getting at that end that help with that end. So I actually think it helps with the federations, the smaller requirements, because we've got the resource to be able to look at that and target that financially, a different model.
Lisa, you've still got to have a margin, but you've still got to invest. You've still got your existing stock, shall we call it? What are you thinking about? What's your thought processes when you're trying to make the most of that, to make sure there is still fat?
So I think we have to make these, it's a constant balancing act, right? We invest a lot in next-gen IP-based equipment based on either customer needs or what we want to invest in to make our workflows more scalable and flexible. But we still have to reinvest and take care of our existing assets, right, to protect our margins, basically. So it's about building a technology roadmap, I think, that secures like cost efficiencies today, but also secures future proofing for tomorrow.
And this is that technology roadmap. Which information are you taking that from? The vendors, the developers, or the technology that your customers are now asking you for? A bit of both? Because Robert said information was key at the very beginning.
It's everything, right? It's based on customer needs, market developments, but also suppliers and technology evolution, but also what we ourselves think is right for us and where we are moving in the future.
So let's expand on that. What are clients now asking you for? So this Sky Sports has been announced this week, lots of IP trucks, which is allowing them to do things they couldn't do previously. We're not going to go into the details of that, it's another conversation. But is that an example? Does that characterise the kind of things you're being asked for by your clients? If not, what are you being asked for, Lise?
So I think today clients are asking for efficient solutions. We all know that. Sustainable solutions and flexibility, not only in solutions but also in business models, in skill sets. So it's a higher degree of flexibility, I think. So we have to provide value that matches ambition and scale at all times. So it's always about looking at the event in question and then designing the right solution for it.
Similarly, Jamie, are you seeing those demands? What are you being asked of, or what are you collaborating? You said collaborating. What are you collaborating on with your customers, and is that changing?
Is it changing? Crikey, I'm thinking when I was at BT Sport, I was quite demanding for quite a long
You
time.
absolutely were.
With providers. No, I think it's things Lise said. You know, they want agility. They want flexibility. I think it's interesting. Some broadcasters want the feeds going into their building. Others want to bring it into like our production centres that we have. IP obviously gives you a lot of flexibility, and I think you can see where that's going. And they want the workflows that work, that delivers the product expectations they have, but also the obligations they have with the federations, etc., on that coverage. And they're really healthy discussions. And this is always the point for me, is be honest. If we understand what the requirement is, you don't have to prescribe it to us, but we can work with you to deliver the solution that works. But also, we also have to be very mindful the solution we work on is to the benefit of other customers across the industry. So we're always learning by the conversations we're having with our clients that then can get shared and spread with other people, and you move the industry forward in that way.
You said the word honest twice now.
Yeah.
Do you feel that people are not honest with your market? I don't need to name names, but are people not honest with the outside broadcast facilities companies?
No, when I say honest, I think we have to create the environment to be able to be, you need to be a little bit black and white sometimes. Sometimes you need to say no, sometimes you need to say yes, and sometimes you need to say that might be the solution you think you want, but it's not right from our experience on this. That's when I mean honesty. It's too easy to go, yeah, understand, there you go, there's your quote.
Yes sir, no sir.
Yeah.
Robert, what are you seeing? These, again, the beasts have these requirements. What are your customers asking of you?
Very often the same. I agree with Jamie that the client, a good client is a partner, and you work on this partnership. Sometimes they have funny ideas. They want you to be a supermarket, open 24/7, that you have everything in the supermarket, that it's regional, local, very innovative, flexible, and ideally very cheap. So it doesn't fit together. But in a good partnership, and that's also a test between us and the client, if it's the right client or are we the right partner for them, if we can talk with each other and find solutions for anything they have an idea of, or what they need, what they want, what we can do, what we can deliver. And at the end, sometimes you're also at the point that you say, okay, maybe we do not fit together. Why we should go on? And that's totally fair, because in every partnership, sometimes you say, okay, let's break up.
Jamie mentioned about saying no. Do you say no to?
Of course, yeah.
In a nice way, you know.
We have to. We have to.
Yeah.
To save us, to save also staff, the colleagues. If a client is not behaving good to my crew, then it's not the right client. So easy.
Lise, you're going to add something there.
No, I was just going to say that's what partnership is, right? And I think our clients are not expecting us to be just pure suppliers, just doing, giving them the list of services that they want, but they want us to advise them and help them transition into the future. The future is kind of, unknown for all of us how it looks, of course, and so we have to work together, and then saying no is okay as well.
Remote, decentralised production. Jamie, where are we? Is there still a conversation about quality versus risk, for example?
No, I think the conversation more is about what is suitable for the event you want to cover. There are many flavours of remote. You've got your remote surface, which is a great sort of segue. You've got your full remote vehicles. You've got your production centres, bringing all of that back in. I think the key thing around remote, the key decisive thing, is two parts actually. There's the sustainability aspect, and it's about taking the noise around travel, etc. And I think that's quite key. But the other thing that we all need to understand is the editorial requirements. You know, there are a lot of people in this room who've got editorial teams. Sometimes you need to be at an event. Sometimes it's good for teams to have the option to, if they're working mostly remote, still be at an event. When I was at Beat Sport, we had an 80-20 rule, so 80% remote, but you still need sometimes that presence on site. I don't think there is concern around delivery, because we're trusted to be able to do that right. You look at what we do with Formula E or ATP, I mean, crikey, that's really flying remote. So no, I think it's more about an acceptance. You don't always have to do everything that way or that way, and it's about having the choices, understanding the event, understanding the editorial requirements, and giving the right solution.
Thank you. Robert, do you have a similar response in the German market? Is remote, decentralized, where is it? Where are we with it in the German market?
In Germany, there are some remote cases. We, as TV Skyline, also offer both OBs and remote, but you cannot or you should not force any client to go with remote or go with OB. It's also, again, in a partnership. What is the task? What is the best for both sides? What's the best for the client? What's the best for us? What's the best for the event? So that's the reason why sometimes a client came up and said, I need a remote production. And we said, let's talk about that. And we find a solution which is more comfortable, easier and cheaper with an OB, and the other way around. So it really depends on what you want to do.
We've enough time for what I'm going to call a call to arms. So I'd like to ask each of you in turn, taking into account some of the things we've discussed here and some of the things that were discussed earlier, what could the wider sports broadcasting and production sector do, and the suppliers to you do, to help you to help them? So Lise, I'm going to come to you first. What can the industry do to help the outside broadcasting companies help you to help them?
So I think we've talked a little bit about the market and the pressure in the market. I think the budget constraints are real for all of us, I think. And I think clients needs to keep pushing for innovation. That will move us forward. That will give us an opportunity to rethink how we do stuff. And suppliers, I think, need to develop future-proof solutions that are interoperable and help us move into that flexibility for the future. That we have more type of solutions to. It's not about. I think you mentioned it, but it's sometimes it's a truck, sometimes it's a hub, sometimes it's a cloud solution. It depends on the event. It depends on location. So I think the future of outside broadcast is dependent on collaboration across the industry. So if we as an ecosystem can work together, I think we will be stronger also moving forward.
Thank you. Robert, same question to you. What can the industry do to help you to help them?
Very easy. We are at the moment, because we're all spending a lot of money in new technology. But sometimes it feels like that we are the beta tester on the job for the industry. Buying new things. And on the job, at the first jobs, we are testing for the manufacturer and developing the new hot stuff for the manufacturer. I heard a rumor that once upon a time it was a little bit different. So it was plug and play, and we would love to go back to that situation. That would make my technicians very happy.
Jamie, final word to you. What can the industry do to help you as an organisation, or help you as a sector? What can the rest of the industry help you as a sector do to help them?
Cheer up. No, look, I mean, you know, our jobs is to capture, craft, create. That's what we do. If we all look forward and we're an important part of the ecosystem. We're enabling people to tell the stories in the live environment they want to tell. So I echo what these guys are saying, it's collaboration, it's work together, but we do need to be a little bit more positive. You know, the future's bright. I was going to say the future's orange, but that'd be really corny with our new logo, but yeah.
On that note, Jamie, Lisa, Robert, thank you for your time. Please join me in thanking the panel.